That's the part of that song that Jinx left out.
Right.
In the background of that entire song, that guy has overdubbed him making those noises. Just like the best type of Tourette's. Woo! Kick! And I didn't like him or the song when it first came out. And then he came out with another song, and the fucking noises are in that song too. And I'm like, oh yeah, then I'm on board. Those noises, I want him to branch out and to do a love song. Girl, I just miss you so much and I wish you'd come back home. Scoot, can we karaoke that? And I'll just do the background noises the whole time? Oh, yes, please.
We have it in Boiler.
Oh, yeah, guys, come to Boiler Room next week. It's going to be amazing. My name's Adam, and these are the top 3 ways I think I'm going to die. First one's obvious. Heart disease. I mean, look at me. Look, I have a lot of friends that do cocaine, and they always offer me, and I always turn it away, because I'm like, dude, look at my body. This body can't handle coke. God flips a coin when I put bacon on a cheeseburger. Oh, no. I don't put cocaine anywhere near me. Number 2, country dogs. I'm a delivery man. I drive for FedEx, and there's a lot of country stops on my route, like these compounds. And I always gotta waddle my ass onto the thing, and they always got these monster dogs who come to the gate furiously. And I'm too loving and trusting of dogs. I always think it's gonna be okay. I'm like, oh, he's just foaming at the mouth because he's excited. I know it'll calm him down. I'll just present my jugular naively and it's gone well so far, but one of them's gonna get me. I'm gonna get Cujo'd at some point in time, unless number 3 gets me. Number 3 way that I think I'm gonna die: Q-tips. I go deeper with the Q-tip every single time. I go deeper, and I think my ear hole's getting bigger over the years. Because one time, I took 2 and I twisted them up together, and it fit effortlessly. I double penetrated my ear with a Q-tip, and I'm just gonna brain myself one of these days. So, A, B, or C. You guys pick it, and then in 4 years when I eat it, if someone wins these shoes, which won't be nice by then, and the socks are mismatched underneath, but I'll throw them in. You can use them as dish rags if you're doing bad enough. It's fine. There's this motorcycle insurance that always confused me. It's for if you total your motorcycle, they'll replace it with a brand new motorcycle. And I just don't know how they get the new motorcycle to you. When you total a motorcycle, as they're bringing you the new one, do they just park it on your grave? If you total a motorcycle, probably dead. It's illegal to ride within the confines of an automobile without wearing your safety belt for fear that you will fly through the windshield, which is the worst case scenario for a car accident. On a motorcycle, you don't have a windshield, you don't have a safety, you don't even have fucking confines on a motorcycle. In a motorcycle accident, you begin on the outside of the vehicle. There is no worst case scenario for a motorcycle accident because they're all the worst case scenario. Head-on collision, dead. Side swipe, dead. Hit from behind, dead. What if I have my helmet on? Dead, but with a helmet on. Open casket, though. Open casket. If your mom's still alive, get a helmet with a face guard. Be a better child. Make a nice funeral for her. Being on a motorcycle is like being on a high-powered catapult, basically, with a hair trigger. And the location of that trigger is on everything around you, which you are moving through at 60 to maybe 80 miles per hour, depending on your mood that day. You're not coming back from that, it's over. You're not gonna go sailing through the air like, oh, I can't wait till I get my new bike. You're done. It's rockabye. In a motorcycle accident, if you total a motorcycle, that means the motorcycle didn't even survive. A giant piece of steel held together with bolts and welding, that wasn't strong enough to make it. What makes you think your frail human body, which in this case is nothing more than a leather sack filled with sticks and porridge, what do you think that's going to be any good for after you total the motorcycle? The answer is nothing, except for occupying the mausoleum they lean your brand new motorcycle up against. I'm progressive. There's a lot of death in my set tonight. It's tough times out there. Art imitates life, I guess. I was catching up with a friend I hadn't seen in a while, and it was close to New Year's. So to catch up, we shared our New Year's Eve experiences. I went first. He goes, Adam, how was your New Year's? I said, it was cool. Went to a party, got drunk, kissed a girl. Typical New Year's. I said, how was your New Year's? He goes, mine was really good too. I was on a rooftop in Paris, getting fucked in the ass by another man while fireworks went off above me. Wow. And I looked at him, and I said, that sounds amazing. The minute he said that, I was like, I want that moment. How do you get that moment? Is that just a gay moment? So I'll switch for it. That's perfect to me. On a rooftop in Paris while let's just break this down so we understand. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard of in my life. Let's just break it down, one piece by piece. First of all, rooftop in Paris. Already dope. Already dope. The beautiful Parisian skyline lit up at night like a sexy-ass Christmas tree. It's amazing. Historically known as the most romantic city in the world. Here's the part where I always run into friction. Fucked in the ass by another man. Every time we get here, people are like, I don't want to go through that. Don't make me gay. First of all, coward. Second of all, it's Paris, babe. It doesn't count. Third piece, and this is the most integral part of the equation for me. Fireworks. While fireworks go off above you wouldn't take it in the ass. Here's the thing. If you're having sex, any type of sex, and fireworks start going on off above you, from that moment on, it doesn't matter what type of sex you're doing. From that moment on, you're having fireworks sex. That shit is next level. It transcends whatever you were doing with your petty genitalia, so grow up about it. At that moment, you're neither gay or straight. You're a pyrotechnosexual. And it's far and away the greatest of the three. Other 4th of July is coming up if anyone wants to hang out. Tickling? Tickling. 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 Tickling? That is an impression of myself in my room about midnight-ish trying to figure out the funniest way to say tickling. Here's another one. Fuck comedy. That's an impression of my brother, whose room is right next to mine. Same night, trying to figure out a new living situation. I don't know if that's exactly what he was doing. I'm confident he wasn't sitting up just saying, this is worth the rent being late every month, definitely. Follow your dreams. Here's another one from the family, last impression. You know, having someone stand by your side through 30 plus years of marriage, 2 bouts with cancer, the loss of a child, having someone go through all those things with you over the course of 3 decades, just really makes you want some side pussy. It's an impression of my father. I got home from a road trip. I went to visit my folks right away. The minute I get in the door, my mom pulls me into the extra room, sits me down. She says, Adam, I have something I need to tell you. I've been working on this genealogy project for a class that I've been taking. And while in the computer, I saw your dad's emails. I read them, and they revealed that he's been cheating on me for at least 6 months. I said, Mom, that's fucked up. I can't believe he would do that to you. And then my mother, who's Caucasian, by the way, tells me, also the genealogy project turned up the fact that we are the descendants of slave owners from Virginia. To which I responded, you wanna fucking pace yourself today? My jacket's still on. Are we having some sort of bad news rap battle that I don't know about right now? And if so, can I at least get a turn? Someone kick a beat. If comedy goes the way I want it to, I'm not gonna give you grandkids. You like that, Mom? Huh? Come at me with that shit, Susan? Her name's Kim, but when we rap, it's Susan. It's a hip-hop thing. It's the most hatred I've ever felt in my heart. Ever. I hated my father more than I've ever hated anybody. I avoided contact with him as much as I could, didn't want to speak to him or be in the same room with him. Sometimes I get stuck in family situations with him where we'd have to interact, and I was just combative and aggressive. Even if I agreed with the things he was saying, I would argue against him just to be an asshole. We were at a family gathering once. My mom saw a friend of mine on TV. My friend got on this show called Last Comic Standing last year. I was very proud of her. I was happy for her. I was excited that it happened. But when my dad goes, oh yeah, I saw your friend on TV. Wouldn't you like to do that at some point? I was like, fuck that show. I hate that show. I'll never do that show. It's a bullshit show. No comics do that show. They're real. You shouldn't. And just to clarify, proud of my friend for getting on the show. I'd probably suck a dick to get on the show myself, to be honest with you. You throwing some fireworks, we're good. 100% down for that shit. And that's how it was. Until one night, I was going to do another show. It was a storytelling show. And the headliner was a friend of mine named Lonnie Brune. And I was getting a ride to the show from another friend named Christine Levine. Now, Christine and Lonnie are two OG Portland comics. They're like some of the originators of our scene. And they're amazing comics, and they're also very old friends. They have a long history with each other. Lonnie's what I like to call a blood and guts storyteller. He's very funny, but he also gets emotional on stage too, and it pulls people in. It's really dope. I like and admire that about him. But apparently, if you have the relationship that Lonnie and Christine have, that's just another reason to make fun of them. Because for the whole car ride there, she's shitting on Lonnie the entire time. She goes, oh, watch, that baby's gonna get emotional on stage tonight. Watch, watch. He's gonna talk about his kids, and his dumb face is gonna get all wet with tears. I want you to call me tomorrow and tell me how melodramatic that motherfucker gets on stage tonight. And I just get out the car like, oh, okay, thanks for the ride. I went to the show, I did the show, and I watched Lonnie's set, and Lonnie did get emotional on stage that night. He told this moving story about his experiences as a father with his children. He basically did what Christine said he was gonna do. He talked about how, at the end, the point of his story was that he has made a lot of mistakes as a dad, but he wishes there was a way for his children to know and understand that those mistakes are a reflection of his imperfections as a man, as a human being. They have nothing to do with the love that he feels for them in his heart. His love for them is perfect. He wishes there was a way to connect his human imperfections with the love that he has. And that's where all the mistakes were made. And he just wishes his children could see how much he loved them. And I thought the story was beautiful, and it touched me, and it made me think about the situation with my dad. Because yeah, this is the man that betrayed my mother's love. This is the man that betrayed our family. But this is also the man that busted his ass for 20 years in the military to keep a roof over my head, clothes on my back, and food, a lot of food, on the table. This is the man who did not cry when his mother died or shed a single tear as she was lowered into the ground, but bawled like a baby when I got caught shoplifting at age 13, because he thought it was leading me down a path that would destroy me. And I'm not saying the good things about my dad make up for the bad things about him, but that is my point. My father isn't either or any of those things. He's all of those things, a complete human being, flaws and all. And amongst all those things that he is, he's also my fucking dad, who has had my back and loved me from the moment I was born. I know he loved me, no matter how much he and I conflicted. I always know that he's loved me. In that moment, I remembered that I loved him too. So I texted him. It's the first voluntary contact we had since I found out he cheated. I texted him just saying a simple, I love you, Dad. And he texted me back that he loved me. In all caps, which fucked it up for me for a second, because I didn't know he got that concept. This is the guy that made Super Mario jump like this when I was a kid, so I don't associate him with proper technology use at all. If he'd have sent an emoji, I just would have not made up with him to this day. I was like, you know what, fuck growing as a person, scissors, gun, fire, poop, 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 fuck off that. So I got the text from my dad, and all that weight, all that hatred just rolled off my shoulders. And I started getting emotional, I started tearing up, and I didn't want to cry in front of a bar full of people. So I ran down the block, I leaned up against the very next building that I came to, and I just started sobbing, letting it all out. It's like one of the heaviest cries I've had as an adult. And as I'm having this huge emotional moment, a side door in the building that I did not notice opens up, and out steps the creepiest old dude I've ever seen in my life. And that's the moment when I realized I was crying on the side of a porn theater.
Oh no.
And I am immediately concerned with what he thinks about my crying. I'm worried that he thinks maybe I sucked a dick in there and didn't like it, and that's why I'm crying. Or I want to suck dick, but I'm too much of a coward to go through with it, and that's why I'm crying. Or I did suck a dick and I'm okay with it, but I didn't do a good enough job to get on Last Comic Standing. That's why I'm crying. And I'm judging him. I think I'm worried about him judging me because I'm judging him back. Like, this guy was creepy. Like, I'm not exaggerating that at all. There was a twitchiness to him, even though he was standing still. Greasy hair. His hands were naturally resting in upward and downward claw. Like, he's just ready to grab at whatever you got. He smelled like in there. Not like anything the human body produces. He smelled overly sanitized. Like a clean that's so like a clean that's so clean it can only be used to cover up the most unclean thing. That's what it smelled like. How do you know the smell, everyone that just laughed? We were all judging this dude a second ago. I was judging him with you. I named that smell and we're all like, yes, that is the exact smell of a jack. Maybe people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, huh? Even if some of the glass houses have a cross-level hole cut in the side. Maybe we should still... I guess... So the next day I called Christine, like she told me to. She saw it was my number when she picked up. And she knew exactly what I was calling. She goes, oh good, tell me now. Tell me what I asked you to do last night. How fucking emotional did Lonnie get on stage last night? And I was like, oh, he got pretty fucking emotional, Christine, let me tell you. He did everything you said he would. He talked about his kids. He cried like a little baby. And then check this, Christine. Last night on stage, Lonnie got so emotional that I forgave my father's infidelities and then wept openly in the arms of a freshly came upon old man.